Updated November 18, 2018, 11 hours 37 minutes and 35 seconds video. Ireland beats All Blacks for first time in Dublin. ABC News. Ireland has beaten the All Blacks 16-9 at home in Dublin for the first time, laying a major marker for the Rugby World Cup next year. The blockbuster matchup of world number 1 and 2, the champions of each hemisphere, lived up to the hype. Ireland edged a rugged first half, and in the more open second half produced a classic try and kept New Zealand tryless for the first time since last year's Lions tour. At a highly charged Lansdowne Road, Ireland became the only team to beat New Zealand twice since the All Blacks won a second straight Rugby World Cup in 2015. The first time was in 2016 in Chicago, Ireland's first win over New Zealand in 111 years. Even with that mental block gone, this victory was far more impressive. New Zealand was closer to full strength, and far more aware of Ireland's threats. But it didn't matter. Even after enduring a hugely physical first half that was exhausting just to watch, Ireland had the wherewithal to perfectly execute a try-scoring move from a line out on halfway. Fly half Jonathan Sexton switched play to Bundy Aki running back to the short side, and wing Jacob Stockdale chipped ahead. The best player of the Six Nations brushed past the surprised All Blacks, regathered and slid in. Sexton converted from wide out for 16-6 with half an hour to go, and put the pressure right back on the All Blacks. But the world champions could score just one more penalty. Knock-ons and spills plagued the All Blacks in front of a fast-rushing defence which squeezed the visitors. Flanker Peter O'Mahony exemplified Ireland in the middle of the second half when he swiped a grubber kick just in front of All Blacks wing Ben Smith in the Ireland 22, then trapped ruck ball to force a penalty against the All Blacks to thwart another attack. He was then replaced, with 17 minutes to go, and walked off to a standing ovation. New Zealand was upping the tempo and finding holes on the outside of the Irish defence, but ruining attacks with errors. Beauden Barrett offloaded to Ireland fullback Rob Kearney, and another attack died when a line-out throw was stolen by Ireland. Barrett kicked a penalty and the All Blacks trailed by 7 with 11 minutes to go. Ireland was still far from safe. In the last 6 weeks, the All Blacks came from 17 behind with 19 minutes to go in Pretoria, and from 15 behind at Twickenham. With less than 2 minutes left, the All Blacks finally got into Ireland's half. They worked the ball from deep to the Ireland 22, going through the phases as the clock moved into injury time. Ireland had seen this before, in 2013, when the All Blacks pulled a converted try out of their hat in injury time to win. But the Irish defence firmed at the 22, and the All Blacks knocked on to end a 16-test unbeaten run in Dublin stretching back to 1905. Wallabies win eases pressure on Michael Cheika elsewhere. Michael Cheika praised his side's defence as the Wallabies recorded a 26-7 win over Italy in Padova. The win at the Stadio Eugeneo was another excellent defensive display from Cheika's men, who have now given up 16 points in 2 games, against a desperate Italian side which dominated large spells of possession in either half. After giving up just 9 points in last week's defeat to Wales, the 7 they conceded in Padova meant that for the first time in 11 years the Wallabies have kept sides to under 10 points in consecutive weeks. Although Cheika still targets defensive improvement as a must, we didn't want to let them over the line. We were a little bit disappointed with how we gave up the try. We could have been off the back of 2 games without a try being scored against us. It's something we've been focusing on as a team to improve. Scott's yellow card for a deliberate knock-on during a sustained spell of second-half pressure from the home side when the score was 21-7 was a severe test for the tourists. But they held strong and were able to come through and ice the game thanks to Woolgenia's late try. "We stuck solid, even when we had penalty advantages against us, we stated them," Chaker said. The Italians, who have never beaten Australia in 17 previous attempts, gave the tourists early notice of their intentions. Only a gang tackle centimetres from the line stopped Bramstein from opening the scoring in the 7th minute after Tommaso Benvenuti had waltzed through the Wallabies' defence and chipped forward. The hosts were then left fuming 3 minutes later when Jake Gordon's wayward pass was intercepted by Tito Tebaldi, who ran the ball under the posts, only to have the try called back by referee Pascal Gorzeri for offside. It was harsh on Italy, who were the superior side in the opening half-hour before the Wallabies finally clicked into gear, with 2 tries before the break from Marika Koiro-Iberte putting them 14-0 up. The second half saw the tourists extend their lead just after the restart when Taniela Tupou barreled his way over the line. But the hosts hit back when Mattia Bellini scooped up a loose pass from Bernard Foley and sprinted 50 metres to get his side on the scoreboard. Italy boss Conor O'Shea was furious that Gorzeri did not refer the decision to disallow Tebaldi's try to the TMO. "I'm angry because we were denied the try," O'Shea said. "When we play like that, and we are not rewarded, I'm angry." Would that try change the game? I can't say if it would. AAP, @Topics, Sport, Rugby Union, Ireland, Italy, Australia, New Zealand. First posted November 18, 2018, 11 hours 0 minutes and 9 seconds.